Hey, this is Hunter Turnbow, and I'm so excited you joined us for this podcast today. I believe that God designed you for such a time as this, and I hope that you can leave encouraged and empowered. Welcome to Corner Talk. What is going on, everyone? Hey, welcome back for another episode of Corner Talk. This right here is what I'm going to go ahead and consider a bonus episode or bonus content. So I'm super excited. If you guys have been listening early on, you guys got to hear one of my guests. He's a pastor, a mentor to me, Pastor Tyler Wooten. He's absolutely amazing. And just to put a reminder out there, if you're not already, if you didn't go and subscribe, I need you to go subscribe to 20s podcast. So basically the heart behind that is if you're a leader in your 20s, we realize, hey, there's questions that you're going to ask. How do I do this? Where do I go? Who am I? What do I do? And these are all questions that Pastor Tyler's answering on that. He's going to have other phenomenal leaders join him on that. So you guys are missing out if you're not already subscribed to 20s podcast. The other thing that I want to hype up is Valor Leadership Agency. You guys need to go and check that out. That is for anyone that's wanting to grow in their leadership capacity and get out of their comfort zone, but have a organized plan for their life, as well as the direction that they're wanting to take their life, as well as just having that person in your corner that's going to love you, be there for you, and not just as a yes man, but as someone that's going to love on you, even in the moments where there might be correction. So without further ado, let me go ahead, reintroduce my guest, Pastor Tyler Wooten.
What's up, family? PHT, good to be here, my man.
Hey, glad to have you back for another episode, what we would consider bonus content.
Hello.
That is special right there. How do you feel knowing that you are getting to do some bonus content?
Bonus content, man. I love it too. And I can't wait to see what comes from this.
Hey, absolutely.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Come on, man. I'm glad to have you on here again. Make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram, Facebook. Keep up with what God is doing through his ministry and in his life. He's an absolutely amazing guy. I think you guys will love it. But the reason that I have him on here today, the last time that we talked, in that episode, we covered all things about the essentials of having that corner man in your life, being in good relationship with people that are going to be, or that are going to allow you to be vulnerable, that are going to allow you to be real. And that's in all walks of life, because not all times are things just really bad, but things may be really, really great. And you want those people around you that are going to celebrate you, as well as when moments are bad, they're going to sit there and maybe give you advice, but maybe not. Maybe they just sit there and their presence is speaking more than what you know. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go and check out that podcast episode. Is phenomenal. The reason I have Pastor Tyler on here today is to talk about the essentials of healthy leadership. So Pastor Tyler, you have the freedom, whatever you want to do, however you want to lead. We are here to listen to you and your wisdom. So super grateful to have you on.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah. For essentials of healthy leadership. And this can go organizationally, of course, but as you just quoted to me before this episode, if we can't apply these, pursuits personally, there's no reason why we should try to do them organizationally. And so personally, I really want to encourage us, to apply these. And yes, it goes to leadership. And if you're a kingdom person, we're all called to be leaders in our own way. But anybody listening to this, you can definitely apply this to your life personally. And that's what I want to talk about. So 4 things I want to give you and I want to encourage you in. The first thing that we need in leadership, leading ourselves even personally, because we don't need to be trying to lead others if we can't lead ourselves, right?
Right.
So leading ourselves personally, the first thing we should have is vision.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the who, what, when, where, how, whys of leadership, healthy leadership.
Yeah.
The first thing is vision. So it's the it's the where and what. So it's the where you're going and what you will accomplish.
Okay.
So it's really important to get, like for me, I'm a bit of a dreamer, but I'm also a heavy planner. So one of the things that I needed to do, because I kind of live a little bit more in dreamland, one of the things that I needed to make myself do was sit down and write down the word vision. And then you can list it out where you're trying to go in life.
Right.
Of course, there are so many, I'm not even going to get into strategy with this and all that stuff, because you can just go watch the next video on YouTube. But, writing down 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, whatever you want to do, but essentially with no restraints, where you're going and what you want to accomplish. You can list it like in goal format or whatever you want to do. But vision is so key to your life because it brings discipline to your life. Yeah. You show me somebody with no discipline, I'll show you somebody with no vision.
Come on.
Right? And so vision, even from my own life, like vision keeps me, I mean, the Bible says it clearly, without vision, the people perish. In other words, the people run without restraint.
Yeah.
It would be like you went to a bowling alley and you had no bumpers or even gutters, and you get a bad bowler in there with no discipline to roll the ball straight. Man, that ball is going to go to, another lane, right, or, put a hole in the wall. And I've lived seasons in my life where I've been putting some hole in the walls because I had no vision, right?
Yeah.
And so vision is so key. It could be something as simple as, man, I want to lose, 10 pounds, but I'm talking about like, even bigger items, right? So there are no wrong answers. Here's the key. When you write down vision for your life, goals, whatever you want to call it. I believe vision is a little bit bigger than goals, but vision, when you write down things, that you want to accomplish and where you want to go in life, what I mean, where you want to go as far, where you want to end up, in your character, in your family, in your career, etc. There are no wrong answers.
Right.
So the best thing you can do is take off the lid. All of us practical people, I know it's really hard to take off that lid because we'd be saying, man, we want to go on 2 vacations a year. And then it's like, oh, well, actually, no, we can actually only afford one, or I ain't got no time. You think yourself out of it, but no, take that lid off. And just the very first thing you do is just empty out, empty it out and just write everything on paper.
Yeah.
Could be 15 items, could be 64 items,
Come on,
more or less. And so vision, man, we got to have vision for our lives. And again, vision is kind of a big concept that I encourage you to go study. And vision is what we are all designed to have for our lives. And when I say lives, that means the entire, the totality of our lives, the context, families, career, etc. Okay, so that's number one, vision. The second thing we need to have, not second in importance, but the second thing we must have is mission.
Okay.
A lot of people interchange vision and mission, and I understand why they do it. I like to separate them because mission to me is a little bit more of the passion and the heartbeat and the why we do what we do. In other words, mission is why we are pursuing the vision at hand. Okay, so you want to lose 10 pounds. Well, why? Okay, so one of the exercises that I do, if I have a new goal or something, I ask it the question why at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, I want to lose 10 pounds. Why? I want to feel better. Why? I want to be able to move around with my grandkids. Why? Well, because I want to have a connection with them. Why? Because I want to leave a legacy and I want them to one day reciprocate that to their grandkids. Well, anyways, just that's a really simple example, but that's my point. It's like, I want to make a lot of money. Well, why? I want to do, well, why? So ask it why 5 times, but that's what keeps you going toward the vision.
Come on.
It's the mission. David had vision to slay Goliath, and he's the one that turned around and asked everybody else when he was being mocked, is there not a cause?
Come on.
Is there not a mission? Is there not a why? And typically the why is driven by, I'll just say it this way, your heart for people. It wasn't because David just loved slaying giants. He'd never done that before in this type of way, at least.
Right.
But It was because he knew the mission at hand. It was the heartbeat and the passion and the driver behind the vision. So the vision in the moment, his goal, his endeavor, his pursuit was to slay Goliath. But the mission was because the people were endangered.
Yeah.
Say with Nehemiah. Nehemiah sat and wept. Why? Was it because he loved construction so much and he was upset that the walls were in shambles because he just loved the concept of a wall? No, because the people were in trouble. Jesus went through what he went through. Why? Because of the people. Mission oftentimes, and I say, for me, I pray that my mission is always attached to people. Yeah, by the way, vision, if we're backing up, vision will always include, impact other people. It will always include, or you can use the word involve, and impact other people. It will always rally people, and it will always impact other people. Okay, so if our vision is only tied to us, I believe we're dreaming too small. Okay, so if it's just to lose 10 pounds just to feel like you look good, well, people say, do it for you. I understand that, but man, that's going to run dry. Yeah. Doing it for you eventually runs dry.
Yeah.
Let's attach vision and mission to people that we love and we care about, right? So mission is the why we do what we do. It's our reason. It's our cause. It's the heartbeat. It's what wakes you up and gets you out of bed. You can say vision wakes you up, but mission will get you out of bed, right?
Right, yeah.
I have a mission at hand. So that's the why. So we've covered the where we're going, what we will accomplish. Both of those things are within number 1, vision. Number 2, mission. It's the why we do what we do. Number 3, I would say, is strategy.
Okay.
Now, this one's huge, and this one is not sexy, right?
Yeah.
Can I say that on your podcast? I don't know if that's
there you go. Come on.
Bad word. Oh. And so it's not attractive to now. One of the things, and my wife loves, one of her things to do, she loves reading. That's her hobby. One of my hobbies is, I don't know for what reason or another, I'm not going to do anything with most of them, but one of my hobbies is to write plans and strategies and business plans. And she's over there reading her book and, or reading the word or something, or I'm over there writing business plans, just whatever. That's just kind of how I think. So I like the strategy part.
Yeah.
I think I like it because I understand the power of it. I don't think I was naturally inclined to do that. It's like some people, it's like, I don't want to drink protein shakes or I don't want to, juice because it's nasty. People think that, but I'm like, I'm addicted to the result.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even take time to taste it because I'm like, I know what it's doing for me.
Right.
So strategy, you might not love it, but man, there's power in it. Because if you have all this vision, I keep using this metaphor, maybe with my background, but I keep using this example rather, of losing 10 pounds. Maybe you want to gain weight. Maybe want to stay the same. I don't know. But let's just say, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds, and then you have your mission, everything, set up right. Well, if I ask you, well, how? Because that's the strategy is how and when. Okay. So it's twofold here, how and when. Right. So if I say, if you say, I want to lose 10 pounds, I say, okay, how are you going to do that? I'm going to work out. Okay. But when? A few times a week. No, but when? Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. But when?
Yeah.
I don't know. Right after I get off work at, 4:45. Okay. So how are you going to do it? What's your plan when you get there? What's the plan? How are you going to get there? You're going to lay out your clothes the night before. Just my point is getting very detailed, and it might be over the top, and that's just maybe, an error on my part, but what works.
Right.
And so asking yourself, okay, I have this incredible vision.
Yeah.
I have this incredible mission, I believe, even from the Lord, but what's the strategy? And I'll say for me, my greatest strategies, my most clear strategies have come from prayer.
Come on.
Moses got the pattern from the mountain of the Lord. The mountain represents prayer.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm going to go first. And I truly hope that, and pray that I always go there first.
Right.
You have a notepad out and all that stuff, but man, ask God, okay, God, how would you do that? Man, he could supersede the timeline and effort, right?
Right.
And so strategy is how and when. You need both.
I love it.
And last but not least is values. Okay. Values, it's the who you're going to be while you pursue said vision with said mission, according to said strategy. Value, we need to make sure that we don't lose ourselves in the pursuit of this or that. Let's say you want to make, a good amount of money to be a kingdom sower. Yeah. Well, man, if you don't have the conviction of who you are and who you're called to be, like your character, right, you can get off into some weird content about how to make this or that, amount of money. You can get off in, with the wrong mentors, with the wrong people in your corner, giving you bad advice. I've done that before, giving you bad advice that isn't kingdom. Yeah. And you go off, you're it's like that one quote, you become successful only to get to the top of the ladder and realize you're on the wrong wall.
Right. Come on.
And so values are the I am and I will statements of life. So I am a family man. I will always go to prayer first. I am a man of my word. I will always, pursue wholeness, just like things like that, and having like 5 to 7 of just those strong statements. Yeah. Like, this is who I am. Yep. And there's no distraction, no course, no word that can get me off this track. These are my convictions. Yeah. I'm convinced by these. I've come up under, I am conquered by these statements. Right. Right. This is who I am. Yeah. And so, man, when you get that, I think that's at least a good starting place. Yeah. Like leading yourselves. And then, of course, you look at it organizationally. We won't have to get into it with our time here. Got to have vision, mission, strategy, and values, even of your company, or your organization, your ministry, your nonprofit, your business, whatever it might be. Just you got to have those things in place. Yeah. Vision, mission, strategy, values. It's the who, what, when, why. Who, what, where, when, why is, excuse me, it's like I've done a conference the past couple of days or something.
Honestly.
You get what I'm saying. But I think this is a really good starting place for us all to do.
So a couple questions on what you were saying. I love that. I love it because it's crazy how God orchestrated this friendship, this relationship between me and Pastor Tyler, especially hanging out the last couple of days. What I've learned is our hearts literally beat in the same direction.
I've noticed that.
We love a lot of the same stuff. We love leadership. We love being in relationship with others. We love hanging out, all of that good stuff.
We don't love the same coffee.
No, we don't. We don't
love. I won't put you on blast. It's all good. Continue talking, but this is your podcast.
Here's
this is
thing.
you, brother.
I think you just you opened up a door.
Oh well.
So now you got to explain your side, and then I'll come in and explain my side.
No, why I got to go first? I want to be able to back up. Okay. I want to be able. No, I'll go. No, we're pulling through Starbucks this morning, and your boy I'm just like, give me straight to the point, black coffee or black on ice, whatever. And then I'll let you call it what you call it, but my man did not order a black coffee. He ordered some, I don't know. He just has a specific taste, and I'm gonna respect that. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna
respect it.
I got a venti white mocha, and so I asked him. I said, "Hey, what would you like to drink?" And he said, "Just go ahead, get me a black coffee on ice." And immediately I knew. I'm like, "This is it. I'm about to expose myself." Guys. And that's it. He's going to judge me. So I looked at him. I said, "All right, do not judge me." And before he could even get a word out, the lady comes over and she goes, "What else can I get you?" And I'm like, "Can I get a venti white mocha, please?" And he starts dying laughing. He's like, "Oh, okay. I see you, man. Like, giving me a hard time." And then she comes on, and as if it's not already bad enough, she goes, "Do you want whipped cream with that?" And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I'll go.
It was like 8:15 in the morning. I can't even fathom having whipped cream at 8:15, and then I would take a nap by 9. Well, benefits of being just, a few years younger at, 22, I guess.
That is,
you get in your 30s, it's a little bit different. A little bit more sticky to your sides.
Come on.
And a little bit more endorsing of a nap. So,
well, I'm glad that you still came and you did the podcast even after you saw my coffee drinking habits. There's also, I had to expose myself and say when it's in season, there's pumpkin spice lattes as well. That's good stuff there. So back to
back to what they care to listen to. Or I don't know if they care to listen to me, but that's
good stuff. So back to what we were talking about. Vision, mission, strategy, values.
That's right.
100%. I love that because that's my heart. That's what I love to do. And it's nice to have someone in my corner like Pastor Tyler who's been doing it for a lot longer than I have. I'm still learning. And in this conversation, just as much as I hope it's impacted you, I know it's impacted me. I've really enjoyed this conversation. So the first question that I want to ask, and I think it's a question that we've all asked ourselves at some point in life, even though I think that we all know the common answer, the right answer. But even whenever we know the right answer, sometimes it's easier to doubt ourselves and talk ourselves out of it. So if someone came to you, what is your response to this question? Is my vision too big? Did I dream too much?
My response would be very likely no.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we can actually dream too big as humans.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the capacity to do so.
Right.
When we serve a God who is, his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. He's a greater God. He's different.
Yeah.
And so we're just in the pursuit of his dreams for our lives. We're actually dreams in flesh. Yeah. We're dreams of his.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why we see what we see when we do dream. But I believe it's just a snippet of what he's actually enabled us and anointed us for.
Come on.
So are you dreaming too big? I mean, if you are in prayer and you're seeing things, no.
Right.
If you are on your own pursuit of your own agenda, it's not that you're dreaming too big, you're just dreaming wrong.
Right.
I think just incorrectly. Now, if you were just like, if you saw something you were inspired by and you thought about it with your own human mind, and maybe if there was selfishness or pride or whatever in there, then yeah, you're just dreaming wrong. You're not seeing, you're actually dreaming too small.
Yeah.
That's actually what my response would be to a person that is more of that. But somebody who actually senses it on a spiritual level.
Right.
Like innately in them. No, you're not dreaming too small.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're not dreaming too big.
Yeah.
You're likely dreaming too small.
100%.
What seems really big for us is pretty small to God.
Yeah.
So it's actually a beautiful thing. So, I would encourage that in somebody. Let's talk about it. Let's especially if you're in somebody's corner, they bring that up to you, like jump in there and encourage it. Right. You just have to have those other things attached to it. Okay, let's talk about how we're going to get there.
Right.
The micro moves. You know what I'm saying?
Simple is powerful. What you just said, the micro moves.
Yeah.
Small things. Simple is powerful.
They're not, and that's the thing. Like it's fun and attractive to dream.
Yeah.
It can be daunting.
Right.
Sure. But the day-to-days of it, the daily dirties, it's not fun or attractive.
Right.
Or at least it doesn't seem that, or it seems like, man, that's when it begins to be daunting, is when you're like, okay, I have this dream of this, not regional nonprofit that provides funds and resources to missionaries around the world.
Yeah.
Well, you start dreaming, and it's like you feel something come awaken in you. And it's like, okay, but today I need to spend 4 hours on how to manage QuickBooks. And then tomorrow I'm going to do 6 hours of research on how to build a nonprofit board. Like that stuff doesn't seem so fun, but it's necessary moves to get to where you're going. That's why planning backwards, I think, is less daunting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, okay, well, I'm dreaming here. You can't see my hands, but I'm dreaming here. But today I need to do this, and then patience in the process, and then accountability in the process, and then another value, another essential I would add, and I kind of threw it in number 1, vision. But if I'm doing a bonus essential, just to make it more clear, number 5 would be team. It's who you surround yourself with, right? You need that. That's why I said vision will always impact and involve others. It will involve. Yeah. You know, Habakkuk 2, you read it, it's like those, you know, people who hear the vision, or hear it communicated, or see it written, or hear it written. Right. I know I said hear it written, but it's written on their hearts. You can write hearts, you know, by your words from your mouth. Those who read it and will bear witness to it, they'll run with you. Right. And so, yes, sometimes just simplifying day to day. I need to do this today. I'll get one step closer. And that's, you know, trust the process and be crazy patient. Yeah. You know, I talked to my dad the other day. He's a successful guy. And I said, Pops, how long did it take you to get your first promotion? And he said, man, it took me, 15 years or so. Yeah. And I'm thinking, man, my generation, like, if 18 months goes by and we got no promotion, like, we will question everything, right? Everything. Yeah. And I know a lot of churches, anyways, but yeah, that's, that's what I would say.
No, I love that. The other question that I had, and I think that this question has the potential to maybe for another one. Here's the good news. We have FaceTime. So we could always FaceTime record another episode. But I could see this one already sparking a conversation within you, another topic. But in this podcast specifically, you were saying at the very beginning, and I'm like this as well. So I completely understand. I think this is also another area where me and you are relate, is we can be visionaries, but then we can also see the next steps in order to pull off that vision. And that's a gift. That really is. You know, sometimes we have the great visionaries, which are highly, highly needed. We need people to dream. And then we also need the people that can come in and tell the visionaries, but this is how we actually do it. And then the people that are in between, 100%, like, you are legit. Thank God for you. Very grateful for you. But maybe for the people that fall too much one way, I'm a hardcore visionary, but I don't know how to plan strategically, or maybe they're on the other side. I can get you a plan. I just don't know how to dream it up.
Right.
So in that, the question for this, how important is it to have a coach in your life that maybe can help you to maximize those weaknesses that you have? Or maybe you don't even know where to get started. Pastor Tyler, I have a vision, but I'm going to be honest with you. My home life, it's a mess. My work life, it's a mess. I can't get anything organized. It's not that anything bad's happening. I just feel like everything's chaotic and it's jumbled. So the question is, in those moments, how important is it to find a coach?
Oh, you're asking a coach, right? Like, I became one because I needed one myself. And that was the situation that I was in. Is number one, I was all visionary and it was all chaos and all run, go all the time. And like a speedboat with no steering wheel, ended up in the hospital a couple of times. And just because all I knew was to go. And man, I needed a mentor. Yeah. And then, of course, and then I got brave and got, a coach. Yeah. And sometimes they're interchangeable, a little bit, but absolutely. And sometimes you need a coach to convince you that it's okay to hire out somebody that is a little bit more strategic. Yeah. Sometimes that's what or if you're too practical and too strategic and you get, too stuck in that, right? Sometimes you need a coach to convince you to hire a visionary. Right. And I think a lot of the reason why I feel a little bit, ambidextrous in this is because, like I said, I used to be all go, vision, dream, take over, right. And I was nothing on the other side. Right. And I wouldn't even welcome people that were that way. I felt like they were holding me back. I know a lot of people listening to this probably the same way, but a lot of that was born out of necessity. I was cornered the hard way because I kicked up against it too much.
Right.
And eventually I'm like, okay, well, there's power in this. And then when you become a number 2 in an organization, like I spent a little while, you know, it's not your role necessarily to provide the vision.
Right.
You bring vision and goals, and of course, you know, KPIs, et cetera, to your department maybe.
Yes.
But my role was like, okay, I needed to like get a game plan strategy. I need to lead, you know, the people in the second and third and fourth layer of the organization. And so, yes, that's a long way of answering your question. I think it is absolutely essential to get a coach to come in and see what you can't, to see your life at a 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
It's hard to work on something when you're always in it.
Right.
You're always in your life. I'm not.
Yeah.
So just using this as an example, like I can come into your life and say, yo, man, I see these tendencies or these inclinations or these weak spots, or man, I'd have people call me, bro, over the years say, hey, you're doing too much. I'm like, you can't judge me from my pace and it's my grace. And, but the thing is, I got too prideful in that and I stepped out of the pace of grace. And I did too much to wear myself out. But that's a whole nother conversation about burnout, essentially. You know, but yes, we absolutely need a coach or whatever you want to call it, somebody that comes in, you know, and then, you know, I think coach is a good word or mentor, you know, if your life is out of order, getting somebody who knows, you know, not just somebody to lay hands on you, you know, somebody who can actually come in, look at your calendar. Right. If you are, you know, not sleeping, you know, having somebody to help you in that area. If you're, you know, this, that, or the other, you get what I'm trying to say. You know, I used to have like 8 mentors and I literally, I was like 24 years old, and I had a piece of notebook paper pinned to my wall right beside my desk. Yeah. It's just kind of silly and extreme, but I would have their name written out and then the mentoring assignment attached to it. Like, okay, if I need financial advice, I go to this person. Yeah. If I need like, you know, relationship advice, I go to this person. They were this mentor, or my preaching mentor, or my, you know, leadership mentor, or my, you know, I would literally have that written out because I knew exactly who I needed to go to for what. So I've always believed, I mean, always is a strong statement, but for as long as I can remember, after my first few months of ministry, I started understanding the power of having coaches and mentors in my life, but it is absolutely essential. That's why I do what I do with coaching. Yeah. No, I love it. And, even a coach needs a coach. Yeah. I mean, 100%. Everybody, you know, and so, you know, pastors need pastors, leaders need leaders, and mentors need mentors, you know, because where does the tow truck go when the tow truck breaks down? 100%. Right. And so we all need, you know, they just need a bigger tow truck, you know, probably a little bit more miles under them. Or actually, matter of fact, there are some coaches that I lean into for advice that, I mean, they're younger than me. Yeah. They don't have to be older than me, but they have more experience in a certain area. You know, you could teach me stuff. You could teach me a whole plethora of things if I just found certain things in you, which are easy to see because how gifted you are. But we can give each other advice. That's the whole concept and the power of iron sharpening iron. And 100%. But where the power really kicks in is when we allow each other to speak in to one another's lives. Yeah. But anyways. No, I 100%. I love this conversation. I love this topic. And that's probably where we're going to go ahead and wrap up this bonus episode. And here's the thing that I want to say to you. And I go back to what I said at the very beginning. If you are enjoying this conversation, you love this conversation, you're like, I need more of this. There is more than enough where it came from. And Pastor Tyler is a phenomenal leadership coach. Valor is killing it in the leadership coaching game. But maybe you are one of those people. Hunter, listen, I need help with vision. I need help with mission because sometimes I feel like I get the two mixed up. Then I need to know, how do I actually execute this? What is my plan of action? What's my strategy? And then what are my values? What's the reasons behind why I'm doing what I'm doing? What is all of this?
If that is what you're needing, then I want to highly encourage you, go check out Valor Leadership Agency. Go follow Pastor Tyler at Tyler Wooten on any social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that good stuff. He's always posting content on there. It's phenomenal. It's something that you are not going to regret. But Pastor Tyler, man, I just want to honor you. Thank you for being willing to do these episodes with me. You had a long weekend. You just got done ministering to our youth. But thank you for investing in me, taking the time to love on me, be in my corner, and then even in your tiredness, be willing to also pull out a couple hours, just come and have a conversation and then love on the people that listen to this podcast.
Of course, man, it's my true honor, and you're just a real deal, bro. I have a lot of love and respect for you, and you're a beast of a leader, a beast of a human, and just a lot of love, man. So I really appreciate this. This is my joy. Anytime.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, guys, we love you so very much. We're so excited for what God is doing in your life. We're believing that God is moving in your life. Make sure that if you're not already, go subscribe to this podcast. Like it, share it, screenshot it, share it on social media, tag me in it, tag the worship center in it. Maybe you get a chance to be on our stories, whatever it is. Then also make sure to head over to Pastor Tyler's podcast, 20s podcast. Go subscribe to that. I promise you, you will not regret it. Guys, we love you. We believe in you. Continue to go do the great things that you are doing. You are changing the world. We love you, and we will see you next time.